Hello there, my name is Gillian Burtwell of Gillian Burtwell Mindset, and I'm here today to talk to you about anxiety. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on me first before I go any further. I used to be a senior HR advisor. I have my own house, I have my own car, I used to go on holidays. Everything seemed to be quite well in my world. I get vitamin B12 injections as well for pernicious anemia. And it was one of these days I was actually going to the doctor to get my injection. I'll never forget the day. It was 6th of November 2007, and I was driving towards the doctor's. It was a beautiful autumn day, but I could not get any pleasure out of the day. And I actually found myself saying, "Dear God, please take me out of this world." I no longer felt comfortable here. I just felt that this dark cloud had descended upon me and I could no longer get joy in the world. I just felt out of place, totally out of place. I went to the doctors later that day and I was told that I was suffering from anxiety and depression. I then went on to medication and I was on medication, all sorts of different medications. They could never really find the right medication for me. I even did a spell in hospital until they could find out what medication was working for me. And it was around about 2012, I decided I wanted to come off my medication. I felt it was no longer helping me. So I went to my psychiatrist and I said, at this point I was on antidepressants and, well, there were anxiety tablets. It was anti-anxiety. And I was on sleeping tablets as well. The psychiatrist was really impressed because not many people will ask to come off their medication. But he said, yes, that would be a good idea. So, and that's what I did. And it was, I went through about 13 years of having problems. I had a CPD that was really good. I worked really well with her. But it wasn't until 2019, actually, when I came back. I was working up in Durness and I had a really bad time up there. I had a boss who was a bully and that the whole kind of shifts I had made me quite anxious. I was looking after a young team of girls as well. So when I came back at the end of 2019, I was quite burnt out. And it was actually a friend of my mum, well, it's the son of my mum's best friend who asked me to come over and see him. And at that point, he was doing NLP and hypnotherapy. And so he tried some NLP on me. And I thought, wow, this actually works. And so from then on, he said to me, why don't you, take on this and do hypnotherapy and NLP? So I thought, yeah, that's a really good idea. So I did. So that's what I've been doing for this last year or so. And I've been getting really, really good changes with people. Astounding how this can impact quickly on somebody's life. Instead of, the problem with medication is it only masks the problem. It'll take relieve the symptoms for a short time, but it doesn't deal with the problem. And as we say in hypnotherapy, the problem is not always the problem. You might present with something, but there's something else behind that that's causing that behavior. And that's what we deal with. And we don't have to know the story. We don't, if people want to talk to us, fine. But if people have had enough of talking to people about it and they just want something done about it, we can work content free as well. That's the beauty about this, because it's your mind that you're working with. You do the work. We just facilitate, we show you how to do the work. Now, to go on to anxiety a wee bit more, I was checking out some statistics today, and I noticed the World Health Organization are saying that 3.6 individuals in the world, that's about 264 million people worldwide, suffer from an anxiety disorder. Now that's incredible. And also Dr. I don't know if you've heard of Dr. Gabor Matar. He is a physician who actually has now developed his life into trauma. And he has come out with, he now says that it's quite awful now that children, young children, for young children, anxiety is the fastest growing problem. Now, where are they learning this from? This is the concern, you know. Young children learn from their parents, from their peers, from their friends, from the environment around them. And we have to be careful as adults not to be displaying anxiety and putting our anxieties on our children. And that's not easy. And living in the world that we're living in today, especially with the pandemic going on, it's making life even harder for us, and anxiety is just going through the roof. So I want to talk to you about, you know, the mind, basically. The amygdala is about the size of an almond. And that's what causes our fight, flight, freeze response, excuse me. And that was fun. That was really useful for when we had dinosaurs roaming the earth. And, you know, we had to, and our environment was an awful lot more hostile at that time. So the amygdala was really, really important then. It's maybe not quite so important now. You know, it's stopping us from doing things. It's making us frightened of things. We've got phobias, we've got fears. You know, and if you have an anxiety attack, you know, some people feel like they're almost going to die. It can be that horrific. And I have to admit, in the past, I've had a few of them myself. And it really does feel like you are going to die. But this is the body's way of trying to help you, to keep you safe. But as I say, that's not always working, you know, for us in these days where, you know, we don't have predators, you know, that are going to be chewing on us, or, you know, our environment is, as I say, quite so hostile. One of the things I would like to say is that, you know, we are basically big batteries. And so what happens is, with the fight, flight, or freeze, our brain is constantly doing this: fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze. And, you know, it should really never gets a chance to just calm down to here. So what hypnotherapy does is it takes out the phobias, the fears, the things that are holding you back, and allows you just to calm back down. Because the other thing I would describe it as, we're like big pressure cookers. And, you know, all of, you know, things that are going on through your life, you know, like, unfortunately, you know, we have sometimes we have bad relationships. We'll get in the car, you know, quite often people will cut you up in the car, and this is another demonstration of our conscious mind and our subconscious mind playing out here. And you'll find that the subconscious mind will always take control of the conscious mind. Now, how I can demonstrate that is, have you ever had an argument with somebody and you've carried that argument on in your head, you know, maybe hours later, even, you know, into the next day, and then you suddenly think, oh, I shouldn't have said, I wish I hadn't said that. Well, that is your subconscious taking over your conscious mind. And Mel Curie he states that, you know, if there's a fight between the conscious and the subconscious will always win. And this is what we're trying to do. So again, you know, this is your mind, you know, when it's whirring around, all the thoughts and, you know, problems whirring around your mind, and you can just sit and just calm and just let it all settle. Just let it settle. Just take a breath and let it settle. And life becomes calm again. And those feelings are just dampened down. So, as I say, you know, there are lots of things that you can do to help yourself. There are breathing techniques that I can show you. In fact, I will do, the other thing that I like to use is EFT, which is emotional freedom tapping or technique tapping. And the anxiety is a good one for this. So you could be, this anxiety, I know it's here, and I can feel it. And I understand it's here trying to protect me. And yeah, I accept what it's trying to do. I know it's only trying to help. However, this anxiety is not serving me at the moment. It's not helping me at the moment. It's stopping me from what I need to do. And I acknowledge this anxiety. However, I really, really need this anxiety to just calmly go away now. That's right. I would just like this anxiety just to dissipate now, just to release and go on its way. As I say, I appreciate all that it has been trying to do for me. But at this moment in time, its presence is not required. And I know I am safe. And I know I can get through this. And I will be alive. And I will be well. And nothing is going to harm me. Nothing is going to hurt me. I am safe. I am safe. So I don't need this anxiety. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for warning me. But I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. And what that does is it helps to calm the lymphatic system and just calms you right down and puts you into a more settled space. Like I was showing you, with this, you're no longer swirling around, but you're calm and settled and nice again, just like the snow globe, just settling down. That's it. That's right. So, yes, anxiety is a horrible thing when it happens. As I say, I've had plenty of attacks in the past, but I do use a lot of other techniques to calm myself, to keep myself in the moment. One of the things I like to do now is I go out for a walk. I used to run, and I used to wear headphones, but that blocked out everything, nowadays I prefer to walk. So I'll go for a walk and I just tune into nature. I'm very lucky where I live. I live not far from a beach here in Nairn, and I have a river that I can walk around as well. And so I listen to the waves. I feel the sand under my feet, and I feel the warm breeze on my skin, or even a cool blast as well. That can be quite refreshing, actually. And then I can smell the salt air, and I can just hear the sounds around me, and it just helps me to ground me and just makes me feel calm. And I count my blessings as to what I actually do have in my life. Not the things that are causing me pain or problems, but the things that keep me grounded, the things that keep me calm. And one of the other things that I have learned, and this is a good thing that you can practice with your children, this is called the havening technique. And you brush from your shoulders down to your elbows, and you say, this is a mantra that I have put with it, and this is lovely for children. I am love, I am loved, and I am loving. I am love, I am loved, and I am loving. I am love, I am loved, and I am loving. And again, this just calms the lymphatic system down. And it's very soothing. It's like giving yourself a big hug. In fact, I call it Bertie's hug, which is a nice thing to call it for children. Um, so all these things help. And as I say, there are other tools that I use. I use NLP and I use hypnotherapy. And as I say, I have found them very helpful to people, to clients. So yes. So I think all I'd like to say now is that I look forward to seeing you at the Wellness Lifestyle Conference on the 14th of August. In the meantime, if you have any questions or you want to get in touch with me about anything to do with anxiety or depression or some of the tools that I use, feel free to contact me. You can find me on Facebook under Gillian Burtwell Mindset, or you can find me on Instagram as Gillian Burtwell Mindset, or you can find me on LinkedIn as Gillian Burtwell Mindset Wizard. So, well, thank you very much for listening to me today, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now.